We're here. Clock out, mentally at least, and pull up a chair. Welcome to the broken shift where the codes are emotional, the tea is hot, and the trauma, oh, it's charted, just not processed, and definitely not reimbursed. I'm Nat, and when it gets deep, like grab your crystals and call HR kind of deep, that's when Natalie Michelle shows up. Just know if you hear both names, buckle up. Welcome back to the Broken Shift, and today is a kind of a tough one, right? We like to talk about when it's the nurses that are getting abused, and we know that not all nurses are great nurses, right? So we know that we have some nurses out there who just shouldn't be nurses, and just because you pass the NCLEX doesn't make you compassionate, doesn't make you truly qualified. Although with the nursing shortages right now, they probably hold on to what they can hold on to. But it takes a lot of compassion. If you've ever just thought you were going to go into nursing because of the money's great. At times, not all the time, depending on how long you've been a nurse and where you're working, what field you work in, and what type of job you have. But truth be told, you need compassion to be able to stick this field out. You need compassion for your patients. You need patience, a lot of it. And in this case here, we have a Texas nurse accused of slapping an 8-year-old with disabilities, and they got arrested. And she got arrested. Like, what world do you think you can go in and slap a child in the hospital and think like that's not going to be the outcome, right? Just like we want respect, nurses want respect in the hospital, our patients want respect and dignity also. And it's just a shame because this typically occurs with children, right? Because they can't defend themselves, or the elderly who can't defend themselves. So that's where you'll see most of these cases. And in this case, this is an 8-year-old. The child's grandparents found videos showing Toon aggressively push the child's head and neck into her bed and threw her arms around multiple times, documents said. So, I don't know that this is the story. So here we go. We have, let's read this. This is in Tyler, Texas. I don't know. There are a lot of stories out of Texas. What is going on? Can somebody tell me what's going on? I know it's not just Texas. Florida too. There's been a lot in Pennsylvania. It's all over. Maybe it's just a fluke. That's where I have been falling. That's what I've been called to. So anyway, either way, this happened this year. This was published in July of 2025. So this just happened not that long ago. So a Tyler live-in nurse pushed, slapped, and threw an 8-year-old girl with disabilities, arrest documents allege. Gabrielle Toon was arrested Monday on a charge of injury to a child by the United States Marshal Service. She remains in Smith County Jail on a $500,000 bond. Now, nurses, if I'm talking to my new nurses out there, even my older nurses, we are held to a higher standard. You got to walk away. I worked my first year out of nursing. I had an elderly patient in a skilled nursing facility spit her food in my face. She was in a wheelchair. And, you're so excited as a new nurse and you just think, oh my gosh, like I've just gone through my clinicals. I passed my NCLEX. It's going to be great. Right? And then they give you your assignment and you got to handle those patients. You're short. You can't find your CNA or your whatever they call them now. It used to be CNA where when I was first out of nursing school, your nurse assistant. And you have things happen that you really weren't prepared for. Because I don't remember a class in nursing school that said, hey, this class is about when your patient abuses you. No, it was about caring for your patient, not abusing your patient. Like, all the good things, how to do nursing, wound care, hang an IV, hang blood, all the wonderful things you can't wait to do. You're excited about. You want to care for your patient. How to do your nursing assessment, right? How to do an intake, how to assess your patient, how to document, how to chart. So be careful. It takes compassion. You have to, that's why a lot of empathic nurses become nurses. Empathic people become nurses. because we have the empathy, and that's also the reason why we burn out, is because we have empathy, and sometimes we have so much empathy that we don't care for, or we don't give enough care back to ourselves. But that's a story for another day. But right now, according to the arrest affidavit, Toon is one of the live-in nurses for an 8-year-old girl who has multiple disabilities. The child's grandparents found videos showing Toon aggressively pushing the child's head and neck into her bed and threw her arms around multiple times in their Tyler home. In a video, they also saw Toon slap the girl across the face while she laid in the bed. Yeah, unacceptable. And you're going into someone's home and you're doing personal care. You don't think these people have cameras? I mean, I'm a nurse, and I would, if I had someone caring for my husband or for my mom or for somebody in my family, I would definitely have cameras set up. There is no way I don't have cameras set up in my house, because that's the thing. You don't know. You don't know the people that are coming in. You have an agency sending you random people, and yes, even as nurses, we are held to a higher standard in our care, and we're supposed to care for people, but nurses are human, and nurses become nurses for all types of reasons, and it's not always because they want to care for patients, and that's just facts. Especially now, in the, I was looking and I saw something about there's nurses, like it's a trend. Nursing is a trend. Nursing is not a trend. Nursing is, nursing has become a trend because, like, supposedly you can make a lot of money in nursing. And if you're coming in it for the money, you're going to be highly disappointed when you find out how many hours you got to work for that money, how stressed you have to be for that money, and what kind of abuse you take for that money, right? So you have to be ready mentally. You have to be empathic to be a nurse. I don't know how else to say this. You nurses out there, drop me a comment. Have you been to a doctor before that didn't show empathy? Did you want to go back? You have to, we need empathy from our nurses. And it's hard. It's already hard enough as an empathic nurse to give that empathy when you are burning out. When you're burnt out in the hospitals and you're overworked and you're working long shifts, you're exhausted, you're understaffed, and you don't even, the care that the care that you want to give to your patient, that you can't give it. So I want you to be careful out there, because if you are working in someone's home, if you are working in a nursing home, right? If you are working even in a nursing home, do you know, like, a patient's family can set up in assisted living? They can set up cameras. Be careful, like, and I'm not saying, like, I shouldn't have to, I don't even know why I have to say this, like, oh, be careful, like, don't smack your patient because you might get caught on camera. That shouldn't even be the reason why you don't smack your patient, but maybe it just needs to be said, because, these are the types of things that we're seeing out there. And nursing is already, healthcare is already getting a bad rap. Nursing is struggling, right? And having these stories out there that this is what nurses are doing does not bode well, does not fare well. It's not a good look. And you lose after all the work you did. Like, you were so excited to go take the NCLEX, so excited that you want to smack someone and lose your license. I don't know. It says, during a video, Toon is seen picking up the child's torso, forcefully dropping her on the pillow and then slamming her arm into the bed. Then Toon can be heard saying, "Stop, go to bed," to the child, the affidavit read. The document explained the child is immobile and nonverbal. She is a trach dependent. Oh, God. So what if she did all this and the trach fell out? I mean, I know as nurses, we're trained to reinsert the trach, especially in home care. I can't. She is a trach dependent. She has a gastric tube, so she's fed through a gastric tube in her stomach. A night oxygen, has chronic lung disease, and she has a kidney transplant. She's a kidney transplant recipient. She also has nephroblastoma, a cancer of the kidney and the right hip dislocation. Look at this. This girl doesn't look, how old is she? I don't even know. Did they say? Like, in her 20s? This Tyler Toon? 25? Is this the story? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know if that's the story or not, but either way, I don't know. I thought maybe they had a video of the a video for that, but maybe they don't. But either way, you don't don't nursing shouldn't break us as nurses, but it shouldn't break our patients either. And if you're stressed, if you can't take the heat, if you can't get out, move into another field. Yes, there's a nursing shortage. Yes, the money can be good, but how good is the money when you just got arrested because you didn't have the compassion, you didn't have the patience to do the job that you were hired to do. It's not necessary. Let's see, is this the story?
Need all in one place. Download the CBS 19 Plus app today.
No, that's not it. I thought maybe they had I thought maybe they had a video of the story, but either way. Either way.
Kind of down on the peg a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's just something else going on there. But either way, drop me a comment, subscribe. I just like to bring these to you because I'm always bringing. I advocate a lot for nurses that are getting abused, but I do call attention to the fact that as nurses, we also we're nurses are also human, and this type of thing happens, especially when you're not cut for the job. Like I can't believe like someone who's doing this is not cut for the job. Like her she would have been better off stepping out and taking a deep breath, calling her agency and saying, hey, I need relief, I can't do this, right? Or just letting her cry, calling the parents, do something, right? Do not abuse somebody else's family member. Do not abuse people. Like, how many other ways can I say it? Anyhow, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. What your thoughts are if you're a nurse, if you're a patient. And I will see you in the next one. Nursing shouldn't break you. It shouldn't break me. It shouldn't break our patients. And thank you for joining me. Hit that like button, subscribe, and see you next time.